So imagine this. Everything in front of you is a derivation, a derivative of the cross. Whether it's your door, your wall, your washing machine, your ice machine, your foam roller, your chair, your desk, your dryer, your lamps, your your plastic bottles, your refrigerator, whatever it is, your bowls, your dishes, whatever it is that you're looking at is a derivative of the cross. Imagine that. Even yourself, of what, and when I say of the cross, what I mean is what happened at the cross. So everything, imagine everything is just manifesting in a different form for what you need to survive. So God provided for you before the foundation of the world, and He knew everything that you would need to survive. Food, clothes, shelter, house, whatever. The trees, everything's made from the ground anyway. Trees, you make a house out of trees. Everything comes from the ground. So everything in the earth plane, the clay, the dirt, the rocks, the minerals, the plants, the trees, He gave you as a material realm reflection of what you are, because you came from the ground, to survive on, right? So the flesh profits nothing. So everything that comes from the ground is material, matter. Now he breathed life into the human, right? He breathes into animals and so forth. But the saved person gets the spirit. And so the spirit's outside the terrestrial plane. The spirit's in the ether of the word, the spirit. And so everything around you is a derivative of the Lamb slain before the foundation of the world. So everything around you is created to sustain you and to bring you back to God. Because God made man, He knew man would fall, but He made a way of escape before the creation to draw you back to Himself. So imagine everything in front of you is a drawing, a pulling, a boomerang. These objects are hitting your eye gate, your ear gate, your touch, your five senses. So the objects are hitting your five senses to bring you back to your senses. And so if everything in front of you is a derivative of that same source code event, then what you're in is a holographic projection that's taking care of you while you're in this simulated training program that's to turn you back from the flesh mind to the spirit mind, to birth you from the material realm to the spirit. And that process of birthing you, moment by moment by moment by moment, that is the travailing, that is the traveling. So you're not really moving anywhere. The objects around you are moving. Yes, there's buildings and signs and streets that have been put in place, just like the video game Second Life. The objects around you are put in place, right? Because a pattern was created, and just like a tree or a sign is stable and upright and firm. You have the water, which is the waves. You have the land, which is steady. And so just like the second life, you see in the Bible that God had transported people. Elijah, Enoch. You hear about people being transported, right? That's not an odd thing, because it happened in the Bible many times. In the New Testament, the Ethiopian eunuch was witnessed to because somebody was translated. So my point is, everything in the natural is a projection to sustain you, because you are of the natural, in the natural. But man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So that tells you the word is your sustenance. You might need some bread and water to keep your body going, but your real source is the Word, the Spirit of God. Now, the projection is tied to your heart, to your thoughts, to your words. And so that projection can be manipulated. And you can change the outcome of patterns that people tried to sow in your life as a child by renewing your mind. So as you renew your mind, as you renew your inner man, the outside has to adapt, because you're not even that person anymore. The old person is dead. Now, yes, there will be situations where they try to bring back old identities or old habits or they'll try to pull you back into fear, doubt, worry, whatever. But that's not who you are. So what you do is you just keep on moving on and pressing on, and you know that it's all going to work out because God's in control. If he was a savior before the creation, then, and he was a savior 2,000 years ago, he's a savior today. He ever lives to make intercession for you. So if somebody's ever living, that's what they live for, to make intercession for you, then I think everything's okay. I think you're going to be okay. And so you might have to endure some things. You might have to go through some pain or suffering or trials and tribulation or heartbreak or whatever. But on the other side, which is not really the other side, it's just a matter of changing your thinking. On the other side of it, what happens is you look back and you say, wow, I got through that. And I look back and it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But if you live in the past, Apostle Paul said, pressing forward, forgetting those things which are behind, he presses on. So when you look forward, because just looking forward is still looking backward or looking at the present, there's no such thing as future or past. When you get in the spirit mind, it's all right now. But in the flesh mind, it's dread or future past. But no matter where you're at, you're still in the now. And that's the reality of what we're in. It's a Turing machine. So the experience of the cycle is no different than a birthing cycle. It's no different. So when you're in the womb of the woman, you're not aware of time. You're just being birthed. The woman's going through the cycles, right? So the earth is going through the cycles until Christ be formed in you. And so the earth plane is going through the cycles, but you're actually just being birthed from moment to moment to moment. So you are being transformed, whether you like it or not. It's happening all the time. And so you can hurry up the process by getting in the Word and rightly dividing it and getting the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, the absolute truth. And when you do that, then you're ahead of the curve, right? And if you're ahead of the curve, what does that mean? You lead. And so when you get in tune with the universe and the program, the plan, the sanctification process, then you're pretty much taking the lead, right? That's what's happening. Because everybody else is all worried about the politics and the news and the cares of this life and worried about he said, she said, and everybody else is all distracted with the cares of this life when you're looking above, setting your affections above. And it's like you see them crying and complaining, and you have compassion on them, but you know that it's just birthing pains. It's just like the baby crying when it comes out of the womb. It's got to grow. And so you feel sorry for them, and you can help them if you have opportunity to help them. But it's just birthing pain. That's all. That's all it is. And so everything in front of you is a projection from that same point. So if everything's a projection from that same point, then no matter where you are, you're still at the same point. And so that's why it's a hologram. Yes, you can walk inside the hologram, but notice the horizon never changes. Notice when you look in the mirror, the up and down never changes, but the left and right is a mirror image. So the up and down is steady. The left and right can be changed. Think about that. Why is it when you look in the mirror, the up and down doesn't change, but the left and right does? Because there's an up, there's a heaven, and there's a hell. The left and right is just face to face, birthing you in to be upright. The object lesson of the mirror is you can either be upright or you can be flat, laying down. You can stand upright or you can lay down. The mirror, the left and right mirror, is face to face, pushing out the upright state of mind. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening, people. It's right here. All you have to do is just tie in, just click into it. Cut off the noise, cut off the music, cut off the TV, and just get in a state, a mental state of listening for God to speak. He's always speaking. God is always speaking because everywhere in front of you is a derivative of the Word. Everything in front of you is a word. Word up. Word press. Word craft. Word puzzle. Crossword puzzle. Everything's a word. Body language. Everything's a word. Everything's a character. Everything's a script. Everything's a compilation. Everything.